Hi, everybody. Welcome to Lily's News. It's Friday. It is February 2nd, and it is Groundhog's Day. Now, okay, so I woke up this morning, and I was like, we watched this weather, what is it? I don't know, AccuWeather. We watched this weather channel in the morning, and it was probably the most insane thing to see. I've never watched this before. The Groundhog Day thing. It was a party. It was like a rave in before the sun comes up. People are raving. They're in their coats. They're in their hats. They're in like Pennsylvania somewhere, like in the middle of nowhere. They'll wake up. It is so funny. People were holding signs, like chanting and like screaming. And it was a rave. It was a party for a groundhog, to tell us about the weather, which is Pakistani Phil is a cult leader. He is a cult leader. It was very funny. This groundhog was adorable. I don't know how old he is. I don't know what groundhog they're on right now, but man, oh man. They said we're not gonna, he didn't see a shadow, so there's not gonna be 6 more weeks of winter. I don't know how it works. Anywho, spring's coming, I guess. I don't know anything about it. So this is when I talk to you about all the news things. And this has been a wild week because there was celebrity beef that turned into real human beef that turned into people becoming scared and stuck in really scary situations. And then there were really scary situations put on the internet. And I don't understand what's going on, but I got to tell you guys all about it. So Demi Lovato, February is like Heart Health Awareness Month, something like that. Heart Month, and Demi Lovato was at the American Heart Association event, and she sang her song Heart Attack, and I think the internet had a good time just really sitting in how ridiculous of a choice that is, in a room full of women and people who have had heart attacks or at high risk of having heart attacks, and she sang that song. Demi Lovato never ceases to amaze me in her ability to just really do the wrong thing. But yeah, that was really it. I can't play it because that's her song. Jason Nash got swatted. So I don't know if you are aware, but swatting is really scary and really dangerous. Swatting happens when someone calls the police, says something really bad is happening, because they found, usually it's a creator, just go with that scenario, a creator's address. They call the police, hey, there's, a shooting, there's a fire, there's someone screaming, whatever. And the police come out in full force for this intense crime that's supposedly taken place. There was a girl in my high school that was obsessed with Demi Lovato. I wonder what she's up to nowadays. Probably
It was unhealthy.
anyone who has an obsession with Demi Lovato, sorry. I feel bad for you. So Jason Nash got swatted. So swatting is when someone finds the address of like a content creator, and it happens too much and it can end really poorly. So the police show up with, ready to combat a really serious situation, and it usually ends with the creator, putting their hands up and knowing being able to talk to the police and say, hey, look, I'm just me. I'm, someone swatting. Nothing's happening. There have been times where swatting has ended in guns being fired and people being shot, hurt, and or killed. And it's really heartbreaking, because usually I don't see the person who made the phone call get justice for their actions. And it's a crime. It's a crime. Calling in a false police report, taking officers, even though ACAB, officers away from whatever they're doing, and putting someone who's not doing anything in harm's way is absolutely insane. So let's talk about this Jason Nash situation. Jason Nash got swatted. Jason Nash we have to kind of give a little bit of a background to understand who Jason Nash is and why he's on the radar. So Jason Nash was David Dobrik's right-hand man when David Dobrik was making content online. Well, I guess he is still making content online. He's on Snapchat, but like on YouTube. So he had his little vlog squad, and he had his group of friends make content with him, and Jason Nash was there, always there. David kind of saw potential in Jason and said, you can be my right hand man, and you can just kind of hey Crystalline, I don't think you missed anything. We talked about Punxsutawney Phil, and now we're just talking about swatting, so how scary it is. So Jason Nash was David Dobrik's right hand man, and he was down for anything, always, and forever, and everything. He did it all. He would be put in harm's way. He would be made fun of. He was the butt of the joke almost always, and it was really sad because Jason Nash is older. I think he's in his 40s now, compared to hanging out with a group of like late teens, early 20s. It was a little odd, for sure. And David Dobrik was making a lot of money, like a lot of money, like millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I'm sure Jason benefited a little bit financially from it, not in any way, shape, or form like David. And so now that David has moved on from making YouTube content, Jason and David had a podcast, and David said, I don't want to do it anymore. And so David turned down a really high number contract for the podcast. He was going to be making like $10 million or something like that. And I'm sure Jason was going to benefit financially as well. But since David turned it down, the company did not want a podcast with Jason. So Jason has since then been trying to get back into the good old days of having money come in. And he cannot sustain himself on his YouTube content that he's making or his podcast. And he is now grifting. He is now begging for gifts and roses and what are they called? Galaxies on TikTok Live. Jason Nash will be on TikTok Live for hours upon hours a day. And he's battling. I don't know if you guys are familiar with TikTok. You can like battle someone on TikTok Live. And so the two of you are on screen together, and basically it results in the two of you just screaming at the people watching to send you a gift. And whoever gets the more gifts, which are like in-app purchases, wins the battle. So that's really what he's been doing. He does it some with his friends and some with random people, and he's just begging for money, which I think is fine and also terrible. So okay, when David Dobrik was making content, everyone in the vlog squad was getting all of this exposure, and no, exposure doesn't pay your bills, but it usually would result in some sort of financial like benefit. Like you would get more views on your own videos, which you get more AdSense for, you'd get more views, you'd get sponsorships, you get more money. So it kind of trickled down, but it was like a very slow trickle for some, a little heavier flow for others. Jason Nash has children. I want to say adult children, but growing children. I think like high school age maybe. And he has to pay for that, and his house and his car. And so when I hear a grown man who is in no way, shape, or form poor, begging for money on TikTok or saying in podcasts like I have no skills, I can't do anything else. I need to make money somehow is very, I mean, it's kind of ratchet. Like, you could downsize your house. You could downsize your car or cars. I don't know how many he has, but you can make changes in your life to not attempt to live the same lifestyle that you were living when your best friend was making a lot of money and you were benefiting. It just feels very strange to me. So he went on his podcast, and let me pull up the timestamp here. Let's see. 3240. Okay, let me pull this up. So he went on his podcast.
Okay. Does any of the negativity affect you around it?
No, it really doesn't. At first when I would see the comments, it did affect me. I was like, oh man, this is bad. And then now I've seen every comment, and it's actually made me stronger. Like, I heard the other day Scott was complaining about a mean comment that he got, and in the back of my mind I was like, oh. Like,
so he has been getting a lot of negativity from commentators like myself. Crystalline says he wants to get the money the easy way, but does he know? But he doesn't know, and no such thing as the easy way. You got to work hard for it. So he needs to get a real job. Yes. So the real job thing will come in a couple of minutes. I'll fast forward a little bit. So there's been a lot of like negative talk, and I wanted to like show like you his face. Like, he really is not affected by the negativity. He has just really given up, it feels like. He's really kind of just given into the fact that he has to, like, until something better falls in his lap, like David did, he has to do this, which you don't. Like, you definitely don't have to. And so they go in, I think I have the 35. Okay, so we go a little further into here, and we talks about the real job situation.
To support my kids.
Wait, when
you
the
know,
comments,
like, I do anything.
Yeah, like I don't know. You said earlier, somebody said, why doesn't he just get a DoorDash, whatever?
Right.
Like, do you ever think about going
to DoorDash?
or to like a, did you ever think about going back to like any other job, or was like,
I can't do anything else,
or just like, I love, an electrician, obviously you do lives with him. I don't know, I just never thought it's entertainment or nothing. I don't care what it is. Like,
what would you suggest I do?
No.
So he said, I can't do anything else. And then in like this kind of condescending tone, he says, what would you suggest I do? Better. do better. Begging online. So there's the argument of like, okay, well, maybe him begging online is a way for the people who watched him, who grew up with him, who, watched David Dobrik and bought David's merch, but wasn't able to support Jason. And so now they're able to support him in a way. Okay, I get that. I see it. It's not... That's what I'm saying. So yeah. So like, there's like the argument like, oh, it's a way for people to like finally be able to support him and him get what he's due from all the years of him being like the butt of the joke and like to get further in his wealth bucket. But in my opinion, he is taking the easy way out, and there's a lot of talk about him, he has kids and he has this and he has to do this, and how many and how your choices in your past to approve your sketchy current behavior. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, just because you have kids means you can beg for money when you don't need to beg for money. You have every opportunity you are a middle-aged, well-off white man. What can't you do? You have every privilege lined up for you. You are well known. You are funny. I have never once said that Jason Nash wasn't funny. I think he is quite funny when he's in the right situation and has the right people around him and has like the right from people who don't have the same amount of money as you do. It's so wild to me. Hi, Demi. I'm on the bus on the way to Walmart. Ooh, have a good weekend. That's so fun. I know it's crazy and probably a little, but I love going to Walmart. You never know what you're going to get or run into in Walmart. So that's him. I don't want to talk about him anymore. It's just so annoying. Like, he's got money. He doesn't need to be begging. He says he has all these things to pay for, his kid's school. Find something else to do. Find something better to do with your time. Find something more productive. I just think this is such the easy way out. This is so lame of you. It came off really sad. But the worst part is that I believe that he believes he can't do anything else. Like, there's nothing else for him to do. Like, I'm sure he said he has like a TV show that he's trying to get up and trying to get like greenlit and everything like that. And like, I get that. That's good. That's something else to do. No, that's not going to bring in money immediately. But there are so many other avenues than just straight up begging for money. Yeah, go get a job in like a warehouse somewhere. Go do something where you don't have to be like in front of people or like at a counter or something like that. There's no shame in it. All the people that you're begging money from work one of those jobs. Behind a counter, serving someone, or in a freaking warehouse, or like, I don't know, working like insurance, or like at a call center. Like, what do you think all of these people who are giving you galaxies and roses and stupid little gifts on TikTok, what do you think they're doing to get their money to give to you when you don't really need it? I don't know. The optics aren't great on this one. Crazy. Okay. Ooh. Do we want to do something freaky? Yeah, let's cover him so we can just get done and over with. Okay. Oh gosh. Okay, Justin Moan. Ugh. This one makes my skin crawl. This one just happened 2 days ago? Justin Moan is a man who decided to, I can't even say the words. How do I say the words without, okay, so he decided to end his father's life and then be creative, unlike Jason Nash. Sorry, it's not a laughing matter. And made a YouTube video. Okay, so Justin Moan made a YouTube video rambling about all these crazy things. I mean, I think you could imagine the things that he would ramble about and in the video he is holding up the head, making notes, and then he makes a claim that he is now, due to martial law, the acting president of the United States. So this man is very mentally unwell, and boy, was there some nonsense stated. Let me pull up this article so I can tell you more. Okay. So the video was up for hours, I think. I think they said maybe like 4 or 5 hours, something like that. It got about 5,000 views, and I cannot believe how long it was up on YouTube. And I'm glad that it only got 5,000 views. To small creators, it's like, oh my god, 5,000 views, but 5,000 views is very small compared to what something like this usually gets on like different apps. Like if it was on like Reddit or Twitter or something like that, those views would have been astronomical. They are re-uploads of the video are actively being taken down as well, which is good. We don't need that on the internet. He got about 5,000 views, and so about 5,000 people saw this really tragic event unfold in front of their eyes. He was 32 years old, and there has been a history of sort of worrisome behavior from Justin. That's how I saw it, at least. Yeah. I can't. Oh, it's so heartbreaking. Okay, so in the video, Justin made it clear his opinions on Biden, the border crisis, and now he was the acting U.S. president under martial law. His father he called him a traitor. And it was quite interesting when this was happening. There was a hearing with the Senate, I believe, and CEOs of major technology corporations about sensitive and violent content online. So coincidence. It took YouTube a few hours to get this down, which I thought was absolutely absurd, because if you play like 5 seconds of a song, they'll immediately claim it. So YouTube has some work to do when it comes to protecting viewers from one of the most gruesome things you'd probably ever see. I know YouTube's free. So crazy. They're so fast when it comes to music. But they're so slow to this. Hours is a long time. Okay? It's a long time. What happened was, the mom, so all three of them, the mom, the dad, and the son, lived in the same home. The mom comes home and finds her husband's body, calls 911, and his head was, God, just saying it is so gross. The head was in Justin's bedroom. The gloves matched, everything matched, the walls matched, the room matched, and the police were set their sights on Justin. Now Justin did take off. He took off and he went to a military base. They called a Gap base. Let me just get here. Oh, a guard base. Yeah, Pennsylvania National Guard base. And he did have a gun on him. And he was detained there. He went easily. He did not, there was no strain. He was arrested. He is being held without bond. And they will be another hearing, will be on the 8th, I think, for him. There was a little snippet in the CNN article about Justin's history with sort of some mental issues from one of his roommates from like college. He says that there was just kind of a summation. He wasn't okay. He would get set off on things that didn't quite make sense. He would exaggerate stories about the government. So I don't know what's going to happen. I will follow this. This is very, this one was really hard to like read about and hear about and look into, because your own dad is heartbreaking. My problem is, and you always think, so we always hear about this, like, and there's always a conversation after like a school shooting or something, like, well, what were the people not recognize as a problem or like a recurring issue or something like that? What did people see but not attempt to like fix through before things kind of exploded? And like, that's a really big conversation around like school shootings and everything. And man, this man was 32, and something in his brain escalated to this point where, he needed to do this. And scary, to think like how many times, like how long did he fight in his brain? And I'm not like justifying anything that he did. Absolutely not. Not one bit. Like, we gotta start looking at humans and their behaviors, right? I just feel like if his roommate in college was able to recognize issues, Lone Wanderer. Says, hot tip for next week's show. And thinks he has immunity. He is crying like a little bee in his mugshot. I'm Lone Wanderer. I will look into that for sure. I will look into that. I feel like if you see something, like, say something, and I don't put any blame on anybody who's ever interacted with him. All right. Last. Elmo is in the news, and it's so funny. The Elmo news on what we talked about. Oh no.
It's been in and out.
Oh, well, that's not good.
It's out now. Back on.
Oh, yikes. I don't like that.
Looks like this USB hub is cutting in and out.
Oh.
This flicker.
Oh. No, Lone Wanderer, it's not just you. Absolutely. But thank you for letting me know, because I don't see any of the info on my side. Hopefully that's better. So I have an update from last week. So remember the mother with the kid in Walmart who I thought was in like a garbage bag. It looked like he was in a garbage bag because he was just in a diaper. Well, apparently that garbage bag was the mother's coat, but I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. To me, it looked like a garbage bag. It might have been, she might have wrapped the coat around him after someone pointed it out that like your child is in a diaper and it's freezing cold out and like you clearly have a coat on and a sweater and boots and everything. It might have been the coat, might have been garbage bag. I don't know. But we have an update. So, going back, the employee was fired from Walmart, and Walmart did make a statement, and they're like, look, we have our rules when, y'all can't be. It looked like a garbage bag, right, Crystalline? The Walmart made a statement. It was like, look, we got rules employees got to follow. And she broke the rules by like recording and all that stuff and posting a video. So, yeah, fired. But she did have a GoFundMe set up. And I believe it's like at 20,000 or a little above, something around there. So she has that to hopefully carry her over until she's able to find a good job. And she also has the recognition from the internet that you did a good thing. This is my opinion. You did a good thing by recording it. You did a good thing by calling the cops. You did a good thing by making sure this woman who was abusing her child was taken care of appropriately. Now, do I think you did a good thing by putting it online? No. My reason being, because now that child is able to see the final moment before he was taken away from his family, like the reason why he was taken away from his family, online forever. And that will be online forever. That will never disappear. It will never be taken down. It has been shared and shared and shared and shared. And here, it's everywhere. You know, everyone's talking about it. This is a big thing. That video will live on forever. So do I think it was good to post it online? I don't, okay, only because I don't think it was good to post it, because when she posted it, the cops were already taking care of the situation. You know, CPS was already taking care of the situation. She was arrested. The woman's name is Kambria. She was arrested. The children were taken. I don't know if she should have posted it online. Because she had the video. I think having the video was good for evidence in any sort of court situation. But I don't know if posting it online was the right thing, since it was already being taken care of. Now, if it was something where it's like this woman is always coming in with these children, or, you know, they're in a bad place and it's clearly abuse and no one's taking care of it, then I think maybe posting it online could definitely get more assistance towards the situation that, you know, people are attempting to address with either police or CPS. But I don't know. I'm a bit torn on it being posted online. But since it is online, I can't go back in time. Since it is online, we're able to talk about it and have conversations like that. So, you know. Okay, so Kambria was arrested and her children were taken away from her. I think she has 2 or maybe 3 children. She just had a baby like 5 months earlier. Now I'm going to play a video. And it's a bit of a long one. But I think it's really important to watch and to kind of, you know, you can gather your own opinions on the type of person that she is by the response that she made online pertaining to her children being taken away from her by CPS, who now live with her aunt. And it's been about a week and a half since the whole thing went down. Yeah, let's just play the video. It looked like a garbage bag to me too. I mean, it's like the shiniest, blackest coat I've ever seen. It looked like a garbage bag. Okay, let me pull this up. Of course. Oh, did you guys know that today's National Tater Tot Day? That's pretty cool. National Tater Tot Day. Okay, Groundhog Day, we're done. Jason Nash, we're done. We're done with that. I'm not even going to talk about that. And we're done with this guy. Let me get this full screen. Okay, so this is Kambria's response, the mother of the child from the Walmart garbage bag freezer section situation. We watched the video last week. She was approached by an employee and other customers about her child freezing, shivering, teeth chattering, wearing just a diaper. She put, I guess, her coat on him, but it wasn't enough. And then another woman came by and put clothes on him. She bought clothes for this naked child. And the mom, Kambria, just continued her shopping, was on her phone texting. So this is her response to the internet from... Buckle up. I'm telling you, buckle up. Okay. Let me get the sound on. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's 9 minutes. We might skip around a little bit because it's a little repetitive, but...
First of all, you wasn't helping with the thing. You didn't help with the thing. You actually made stuff worse. First of all, you have a child that's dead. Rest in peace to your baby. I pray that God can.
Hey, Steve, can you turn it up for me a little bit?
Have you with more kids? Which
I can't. I can barely hear it.
bless you with more children. But so as a mother, you should know what it feels like to have
A little bit more.
kids
It's
away
really
from
quiet
you,
for me.
children taken away from you.
Yeah.
So right now, I lost 10 pounds currently.
Okay, so this is a response to the kids being taken away, and her first thing is, I lost 10 pounds currently. Now, yes, she is smacking her gum, which is really great, and she clearly needs to change the battery in her smoke detector, which drives me absolutely bonkers.
Because my kids are gone for me. I haven't seen my kids. I seen them now under super certain restrictions. But like my son, he doesn't understand why. Like he need therapy now. He can't understand why.
Yes, your son does need therapy now. I'm sure your son needs therapy now. And it has nothing to do with anything that he did. Their son did nothing wrong. You made a situation and created a bigger situation within Walmart that resulted in potentially now your son needing therapy to heal from this unnecessary trauma. There's nothing necessary about bringing a child in a diaper into freezing temperatures and then not reacting when someone says, hey, your child is in a diaper and it is freezing, other than acting wild. Like you went out, you were acting wild. That was wild. That's a wild thing to do, is to just twerk and scream when someone is trying to help protect your child.
I'm gone. Like in the public, it's too much going on in the public right now. I can't even take him to Chuck E. Cheese under supervision if I wanted to anywhere, because people, I'm getting like harassments and things.
Okay, so she says she can't take him to Chuck E. Cheese or anything because she's going to be harassed and things. Well, one, I don't think you can take them to Chuck E. Cheese right now because they are in a protective order with their aunt. So you are not taking your kids anywhere right now. And yeah, you might be harassed in public, but you basically asked for that. Now, this is where the situation comes where I don't think the video after the situation was handled should have been posted online. The original person posted it on their Facebook, and then it kind of blew up from there. I don't think the video should have been posted online since it was taken care of. But yes, she is going to be harassed. That's just the fault of humans. They're not going to be able to say, okay, this happened, maybe she's healing and trying to do better. They're only going to remember what they saw online of her being a little wild. I'm going to play devil's advocate. Maybe she is postpartum, or maybe she just had a terrible upbringing. Yeah, there's absolutely many, many reasons why Kambria acted and reacted that way in Walmart. Absolutely. But it is still no excuse. And I don't want to sound ignorant to what mothers go through, especially a postpartum situation. You know, postpartum is a spectrum. You know, you can have, postpartum, like a mild dose, to like a very, very extreme dose. We've seen, women who go through the most extreme effects of postpartum and end up, unaliving their own child, in like a fit of like delusion, right? Absolutely. 100%. I am right there with you, the lone wanderer. But unfortunately, this bringing a child in that situation, in that, a temperature, it's like negative degrees or whatever like that. The only thing people and like onlookers are going to see is a child being mistreated, and there's not going to be any thought because it's going to be directly to the child. It's going to go, the child is cold, this child is not well, this child needs help. And it's not going to go, well, maybe, they're not going to take the time in that direct situation to be like, well, maybe the mom's going through something. That's a question for after, which I don't know if I don't know how to fix that. Absolutely. Like, I don't know how to fix that, but it's a question for after they're taken out of this situation. Now, if she is going through something postpartum and she made the decision to make a response video, I would have seen nothing wrong. I would have had a little more respect for her saying, I am going through this, and you don't have to say it if you are. You don't have to tell the internet anything about your health whatsoever. But I think it would have, you'll see as we go on through the video, she's very poignant when it comes to this affecting her reputation. And I think if she were to say, truthfully, if she was going through a postpartum situation, it would have garnered her a lot more respect and understanding from the people watching this and the people who watch the original videos. But she doesn't say that. But I am right there with you, 100%. Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what's going on with that situation. I really feel bad for my baby. I play with my ear when I'm thinking about a lot of stuff, and every time I see him, he's doing the same. He is mama's child. He does the same thing. I'm like, baby, like, it's gonna be all right, and stuff like that. Like, I just really can't explain to him for real. He's only 40 years old, so that's with that. I know a lot of y'all want to know that baby must be living in horrible living conditions, horrible. If he's treated like that here, I wonder how he's treated at home.
So this is a 9-minute video of Kambria defending how she is living and raising her child. She just says she really does not talk about her kids or having them being taken away from her anymore in this video. So we even talked about last week, if this is happening out in public, what is happening behind closed doors that can really be quite concerning. We don't know what's happening. We don't know what's going on. We don't know. It's not our right to know, unless something really bad is happening, and we want to make sure everyone's, like, human nature is to make sure the kid's okay. And this is what she has to say.
This is a period, a decimal of what. That's nothing. That's like baby stuff. That's like nothing. I'm talking private VIP to see Disney, VIP to see Blippi. They met this man. They met what else they met? We do a lot. I do a lot of different activities with my kids, indoor water parks.
She is all over the place. Absolutely. Now she's defending, how she raises her kids. She does all these things with her kids. She does this, VIP, that, Disney, this, That's great. That's great, But when raising your kids isn't just how much money or, you're spending on your kids. Raising your kids is raising your kids, loving them, caring for them, taking care of their needs. No kids need to go to Disney. There's no kid that needs to go to get Disney. If they're not obviously like a Make-A-Wish kid, and if that's their wish, then they need to go to Disney. But we're not talking about that situation. But no kid needs to go to Disney. They don't need to meet Blippi. They don't need a big extravagant outing that, in my opinion, just my opinion, allegation, that is probably set up to make sure that, they look like they're being taken care of. Because if this was okay, if this was a moment of her day and her kid is in a diaper in Walmart, and I've seen lots of kids just in diapers in Walmart. It's about the temperature. It's about the freezing cold aspect outside. What are you trying to tell us? What are you trying to tell us?
Arts and crafts with my kids. I don't give my kids melatonin. I'm not saying against the people that do, but I don't do that. I do everything. I read my kids' books, let them run around. I let my kids do a lot. I do a lot of different. Every holiday I decorate for them.
That damn smoke detector. And it doesn't, and this is like some next level smoke detector. It doesn't just beep. It says low battery. Like, it's saying it after the beep. It's saying it after the beep. Change the smoke detector battery.
It's like, as y'all can see, it's decorated in here now, which it was decorated before they even left. So like, yeah. My kids believe in Cupid, everything else, like I stated before in my Facebook post, which I'm gonna put my page back up, but I just kind of got off there for a little bit. So it's nothing how y'all try to say horrible living conditions. Never that. Never, never, ever, 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 never that. So that's that about that. My biggest thing right now, though.
Okay, so she's now going to go into her biggest thing right now, even though her kids were just taken by CPS from her. This is her biggest thing. Not the kids being taken, what she's going to say next.
It's the false allegations that's out there about me, not about.
She needs to say no more. We need no more words from her. The false allegations said about her. That's all she cares about, is her reputation. And I'm not even gonna give her more time on the internet from me. All she cares about is the false allegations on her reputation, and it is wild to me. That is astronomically bad for me. That does not make me feel better for you. That does not make me feel more care for you. The biggest thing right now for me is my reputation. Not your kids. Not your kids. Not your kids, not your kids' health, your kids' safety, your kids' mental health status of being removed from their home. Not your kids and their joy and their freedom and their comfort. Not that. It's your reputation. She goes on to say, and I'm not going to play it because she's had enough time. She's had enough. I'll say it for her, because I've watched this like 5 times now. She talks about how she's an author of children's books. You can find her on Amazon, and how now this is going to ruin her reputation. She writes books for kids, but she can't put a damn go on one. Ooh, then she goes in and starts talking really poorly about the employee that did record her. And now I can almost say, I don't, but I can almost see why she's able to say this. Now I know why she's able to say it, because she needs someone to blame, because she cannot blame herself. She is incapable of blaming herself for this current situation of her kids. Where the father of her kids, I don't know. I'm not part of that conversation. To be fair, she has to clean up her reputation if she wants them back. But what about her kids, though? Right. And so to clean up your reputation, you don't go on and make a response video about caring more about your reputation than your kids. To clean up your reputation, you say, I don't care about my reputation. I don't care about selling books on Amazon for kids. I want my kids back. I need to do what I need to do to get my kids back in my home, in my arms, so I can snug them and kiss them and read them all the books and play with them and give them all the love that they deserve. Right? That's crazy. A published author, I too am offended by this. I don't even have kids. I don't want kids. I'm never having kids. And I am offended by this as well. For all kids across the world, I am so sorry. See my friend out there. Sorry. You need to recognize that your reputation comes from you and your actions. The only person messing up your reputation is you, Like, I have a reputation on this show to speak my mind. I'm speaking my mind. That's my reputation. You could hate me, you could love me, I don't care. My reputation is I'm going to speak my truth opinion, and I'm going to talk it through. And there might be a lot of words, and there might be a little bit of this and a little bit of that and a little both-sided action. But that's because I don't have anyone else here to kind of like bounce things off of. I would love that. But like, I want to come at my thought process from all the angles. That's my reputation, right? Because that's what I do. I'm not... You have a bad reputation because you brought your kid in freezing cold weather in only a pamper and stuck him in a freezing cold metal cart in Walmart and took him in the freezer section and started throwing bags of frozen food on him. And when you were addressed and confronted about this action, you started screaming and twerking. That's your reputation, because that's what happened. And there is video evidence of that. This is crazy to me. You only care about your reputation. Now a really awful part of this, a really uncomfortable part of this, is when she started using God, Jesus, her religion to attack and attempt to offend the employee that she blames for getting her kids taken away from her. The employee that recorded and posted this video, she blames her because she can't blame herself. She cannot blame herself. She has no ability to blame herself for her actions resulting in her kids being taken away from her. She cannot. She just can't do it. You see her almost trying, like I can see it in her eyes that she's thinking, but she cannot come to the conclusion that it is her fault that this happened. It is the employee's fault that this happened. And she is using, this is where my brain, I can't, maybe I'll show it. Do you want me to show it? I don't know. You can find this video. This is CLAT88 on TikTok if you want to see it. I don't know. She blames the employee and she says, if you didn't do that, God would have tripled what you got from that GoFundMe. What? She says God has plans for everything. God works in mysterious ways. There's a reason for everything. And she's slyly using religion and God, which is very strange, to take down, to attempt to attack at the knee this employee. And I think Walmart firing this woman just kind of fueled the fire within Kambria to act that way, which is very unfortunate. I really hate that Walmart did what they did, but that I can't control that. I mean, I can't control any of it. I just talk about it. I hope that the woman finds a good job, a better job, and I hope that the money from her GoFundMe is able to kind of help her and support her until she does and is able to stay or get back on her feet or whatever. Now, Kambria, mommy Kambria, is setting up her own GoFundMe for gas because she needs to travel to see her kids. And she, since though the employee was able to get a GoFundMe and have people donate to her, why can't Kambria? She didn't do anything wrong. She should get more money than the employee because she didn't do anything wrong. That's her brain. She barely speaks about her kids after this. This is a 9-minute video, and she's done talking about the effects of losing her kids. She says she lost 10 pounds because she's been trying to lose the baby weight. She says she's been trying to lose the baby weight, and she lost 10 pounds in the past week since her kids were gone. And that's God working in mysterious ways. Delulu. I wish her the best. And we talked about this last week when we were talking about the NFL Lee and the kids being taken. This is like, I hate that this is like the plot line of Lily's news, like kids being taken from homes. We talked about how CPS, their ultimate goal is reunification. Do I think Kambria can get to a place where she can have her kids back? Absolutely. She is an able-bodied woman. She is grown, 20, I think she's like 26. There's been some arguments online that she's only 26. She's just a kid. I want to shut that down real fast. You're not just a kid because you're not just a kid. You're 26 years old. No, you're not fully grown. I say, until you're about 35, you're an adult. I'd say 26 might still fall under like young adult. but you're still 26 years old. I thought about paying her what I thought she was worth so she could get some gas, but apparently there's a minimum amount you can pay, and $1 $1 too much. Yeah, I don't want her to suffer more. That's like, I don't want her to suffer more. Like, I don't want people to go and hate on her, and I don't want people to go try to make her feel bad, because no, whatever anyone says, she will always find it in her brain to put it on someone else. It's not, to her, it's not her fault. And that only changes with like therapy, you know, like actual therapy, which I really think she needs. I think a lot of people need therapy, like way more people than are actually like seeing a therapist. I think a lot of people need therapy. Crystalline says, that's no excuse. I have my first kid when I was 16 and still in high school. Yes. And that's what I wanted to get to, is that when you have a child, and I want to make it very clear, I'm not talking about like being forced to have a kid. When you choose to have the child, you have made that decision, and there's many women faced with the decision, especially when they're younger, like Crystalline, to, you know, the decision that women have to go through. For those that might feel that maybe they're not ready to have a kid or capable of having a kid or financially stable, you know, you have the decision to make. And when you make the decision to go through with your pregnancy and have a baby, and you give birth to that baby, and you love that baby, and you do anything for that baby, and you make the decisions that come with after having a child, you have to grow up in a sense. Sure, you can still be 16, 17, 18, 26. You can still be that, but you also have a human that you are raising and growing. Like, you have to be able to make those decisions. And there are plenty of outside forces that can make the next steps after having a child very difficult, like postpartum, like major financial issues, like, you know, your car breaks down, like, you know, the father maybe disappears, or something happens, or they go, you know, abroad with the arm. You know, there's so many outside forces, but so you have to be able to grow. Like, you have to make your brain be able to make those decisions in the healthiest way for you and your baby. Exactly, Lee. I choose to have my kid, and I choose to take care of it with all my heart. Exactly. And like, I obviously know, I don't know Crystalline personally, but we've been together on the internet for a while, and like, I don't think anything less than anyone, especially like you, Crystalline, for having a child at 16. I had friends that were 15 having babies in high school, and they would come to school, and their baby would go to the daycare at the school. We were so grateful that my high school had like a daycare. The baby would go to daycare, you know, they'd go to school, and then they weren't losing that part of their life. Their child wasn't losing, you know, the ability to grow with other kids around and be with other people and all that stuff. And then they would go on and do the rest of their day however that person did the day with their baby. You know, like, it's a thing. It's fine. It happens. But when you're 20, and I've seen that online, people saying she's just 26, she's just 26. No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't matter. There's plenty of situations that this obviously doesn't apply to, and I think all of you have the smart enough brains to, you know, like, all the bad ways for people to have kids, but like little tiny humans, you know. But yeah, so that's the update for that. And boy, did it make my brain crazy. Oh my God, it's 6:00 already. I didn't even talk about the thumbnail. I didn't even talk about all the things in the thumbnail. Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion were going at it. Okay. And Elmo. Oh my gosh. Ay. Okay, so real quick, let's just talk about Elmo, and then we'll quickly cover Nicki Minaj. And mainly it's just Nicki Minaj. Megan really didn't do anything. Okay, so let me get rid of this and get this nice big. Okay. So Elmo asked, "Hey, I'm just checking in. How are we doing?" to the world on Twitter, and the world said, "Not great, babes. Not great. We are not doing well. We are not doing well." So this one was one of my favorite ones. "Wife left me. Daughters don't respect me. My job is a joke. Any more questions, Elmo?" Jesus, man. That was a good one. Let's see. Response was, "I lost my job, had to sell my home. My monthly health insurance premiums have gone up 30%. My electric bill has gone up 400%. My grocery bill has gone up 500%, but I can recite my ABCs and count to 7 in Spanish, so it's not all bad, Elmo. It's not all bad, Elmo." I really, really try to be happy and strong at work, but sometimes it's just too much, Elmo. I'm struggling. Not feeling too tickled about life right now, Elmo. These were some really fantastic responses, and Elmo literally tweeted out, lines for people looking for assistance, in case anyone was feeling a certain way, like if they didn't want to be here anymore. Elmo tweeted out phone numbers and, assistance to help cure and curb any of those feelings for people to call, to contact, to reach out to, which I never thought I would see Elmo doing that online, but I think we all needed it. "I was born with glass bones and paper skin. Every morning I break my legs. Every afternoon I break my arms. At night I lie awake in agony until my heart attacks put me to sleep." Elmo, do you even have a mortgage? So those were just the responses to Elmo asking how everyone was doing, because we're not doing well, Elmo. And Elmo felt bad for asking, but he said he's going to reach out more and ask more and see where people are a little more often, which I think is really nice. Okay, so we talked about this and we talked about this. All right, let's talk about Nicki and Megan. Okay, Nicki Minaj, Nicki Minaj is going through it right now because Megan Thee Stallion released a song called Hiss. It's actually pretty good. Okay, you guys, I have loved Nicki Minaj forever. Like, Nicki Minaj got me through so many things. I love her. I stan. I might be thinking a little differently. Please don't come for me. Please don't dox me. Let me tell my words from my brain. Okay, Nicki Minaj is going through it. Megan Thee Stallion released a song called Hiss. Now, I love Megan Thee Stallion too, but Nicki's been my girl for a long time. And in the song Hiss, there is a line that they're not mad at Megan. There's some N-words in there. It's, that's not going to come out of my mouth, even as a mixed race person. We're online and on YouTube, and that's also just not part of my vocabulary. But there's some N-words in there, and she says that they're not mad at Megan. They're mad at Megan's law. Now, Megan's law is the federal law where humans who are sex offenders have to register as sex offenders and share their information to the surrounding community that they are sex offenders. And there's specific times for specific levels of how often you have to check in with officers if you are a sex offender. And the different times and levels sort of depend on like the state that you're in. New York State, I believe, if you are a like the lowest level of offender, I believe you do it you check in every 3 years. And then I think if you're the highest level, like the most dangerous level, I think it's every 3 months that you have to like do a check-in, get your picture taken, update your address, all the things. I believe that's what it is in New York. I'm not 100%, don't quote me on that, but I believe that's what it is. And so that line triggered Nicki Minaj into writing, recording, and releasing what we are not calling a diss track. It is definitely not a diss track against Megan Thee Stallion. Megan Thee Stallion was shot in both feet, I believe. But I think one foot was injured more drastically than the other. And Nicki Minaj released her song. I honestly can't even listen to it. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's like Bigfoot, and she's rhyming Bigfoot with Bigfoot, and then feet, and then foot, and like get up on your good foot. She was on Instagram live, just going off, and it's delusional. She feels attacked. She's attacking back. Megan didn't really attack her. But why did that line trigger Nicki Minaj? That's a great question. Thank you so much for asking. Nicki Minaj is married to a sex offender, along with her brother being a sex offender as well. You think that's bad? Listen to the Ben Shapiro rap. I listened to a little bit of the Ben Shapiro rap, and I wanted to go away, to disappear. I wanted the world to suck me up into a black hole. I wanted to just fly away into the skies like a fucking butterfly. That Ben Shapiro rap made my skin, I felt a whole layer of my skin shed. Because I can't. I think, what is it, like the second line of that Ben Shapiro rap is like, there's only two genders. Like, can we calm down for a minute? Like, can we take a breather? Wild. So Nicki Minaj is just married to a sex offender, and her brother is a sex offender as well. And there were issues in the past couple of years with Nicki Minaj's husband and him, I guess, doing things with the courts and all that. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm not in her business like that. All I know is those basic details. Now, what the problem is that it went to the internet. It went to TikTok. It went to Twitter. It went to the online of the humans who have nothing to do with Nicki Minaj and Megan Thee Stallion. They are just humans speaking their opinions on the entire situation, on Nicki going crazy online, being a little bit manic, I would say. I'm not diagnosing her, but it looked to me like a little bit of manic happening online from Nicki, because it was constant. It was live after live after live. It was retweet after comment after comment after comment. It was video after video. She was flooding the internet. She was being chronically online. She was chronically online for the last couple of days about this not diss track. Made it very clear it's not a diss track. But she made 5 of them, but it's not a diss track. So people started talking about their opinions on this entire situation. And those that went against Nicki Minaj and said, hey, I think this is bad. Like, this doesn't look good. You need to chill. You're not acting like yourself, Nicki, the queen. Like Nicki holds a standard, in my opinion. It's been outreached and outranked many a time, but I feel like Nicki held a standard of rap, and of stylistic integrity to pop culture music. Now, there were many people online who wanted to remind Nicki who she was. That standard, that icon of rap, the blowing the men of the rap world away over and over and over again, stomping on them, putting her foot to their throats every time she was in the studio. That's what she was doing. That's what people wanted to remind her of, and she wasn't acting like that. She wasn't acting like that. And so there was a response from those who stan Nicki to the umpth degree, and would die for Nicki, do anything for her, and they were being aggressive, and they were not liking that anyone was going against Madam Nicki, and they were doxing people, like to the point of insanity, doxing creators, doxing their families, sending them food that they have to pay for. Like, you can call like Pizza Hut and be like, hey, send a pizza to this place, da 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 da. We'll pay at the door, and then ding dong, it's at that person's door, and now you're faced with like, do I pay $20? I don't have $20. Like, I have to pay for all this stuff. Her unalive mother had nothing to do with this. This is ridiculous. Sorry, I'm late. Black Queen 777. Yes, that was another thing. While Nicki was going on her rants and raves and freestylings and attempting to rhyme anything that she could think of with foot, and just came out with foot, she mentioned, so Megan Thee Stallion's mom passed away pretty recently, and Nicki Minaj made it very clear that Megan was lying on her dead mother. It was said over and over again, which was a completely inappropriate line to cross. I think when it comes to music, and rap music in particular, there's lines that you can cross with ease. There's things that you can bring up. There's jabs that you can take with ease, and you'll be applauded, and you'll be like, oh, got him, like there's those. It's just like stand-up comedy, right? But for Nicki Minaj, who has been friends, has collabed, has made music, has been friends with Megan Thee Stallion, to take it to that point was a major line in the sand for many people who really enjoyed not just Nicki's music but Megan's music as well. Like, you took it too far. You took it too far, and that's not fair. That's not fair. Because Nicki, I wouldn't say Nicki is known to fight fair, but she's not blind. Her eyes are open. But this whole thing, the worst part about, I don't care about two really big celebrities fighting with each other. Megan wasn't even fighting. She didn't even fight back. Megan dropped her song, and Nicki went crazy. I don't care that two celebrities are having a feud, having a moment. They're in TMZ, they're in this, they're in that, blah, 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 pictures everywhere. I don't care. I care about regular, everyday human beings having their lives put at risk because unstable fans can't comprehend that it's fine to exist and not love and want to lick Nicki's feet. That's where things get a little too much for me, is when you would rather spend your day finding someone's IP, all different platforms, Discord, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, doxing someone because they don't share the same opinion with you, and like inciting violence. Like, that's where I have to be like, all right, we gotta. And I would really appreciate if Nicki Minaj came out and said, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Barbs, that's like her fans. Barbs, we can be Barbs, but we also don't need to be doxing people. Because how would you like it if you your social security spread it? Am I back? My audio went.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Looks good.
So, so I was at Nicki Minaj. Megan didn't really do anything. She posted like an Instagram story, just one, in response to it, and nothing else, which I think is great.
It's okay.
Can't hear you. Oh my gosh. Okay.
I think just fine.
You can now? Okay. It might just be on the delay. We'll have to fix that. Okay. Well, yeah, that's it. That's really it. You know, I covered all the things. It's 6:20, 6:16. Nicki Minaj is crazy. I mean, she's not crazy. She went a little crazy. I think she can come back. She's going to have a lot of work to do, just like the other. It's hilarious watching you rant without sound on the hand signals. I don't know when there's no sound. Oh no. Oh no. Lone Water. Just clip that. That will just be a short. This will be an advertisement for my things are going to be changing soon. So the things will be a little different soon. So not immediately soon, but it will happen. But anywho, if you guys can hear me, I'm done. I'm leaving. I'm going home. I'll see you later. If not, thanks for watching. I'll be back next Friday at 5 for more crazy news that we'll rant and rave about. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Lily's Lottery crew, we're testing some weekend streams. So Saturday and Sunday night, we're going to be streaming. So make sure you keep an eye out on that if you want to partake. I'm testing weekend streams. Just going to test it. Just see what's going on, you know. I told you guys early in the week. Okay, bye. I will see you guys. Have a great weekend. Be good, be safe, be kind. Take care of yourself. Adios, amigos. Oh, that's cute.